Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from Politico written by Lewis Nelson, published on July 26th. Now, everyone's been talking about the whole situation with Trump and his tweet about how they're going to be looking into the whole shadow banning thing out on Twitter. The funny thing is Politico here, they've got to put a spin on why conservatives are getting shadow banned. It's actually kind of funny. So let's get into this article here. President Donald Trump said Thursday that his administration will look into allegations that Twitter has reduced the visibility of certain prominent conservatives on its platform, a practice referred to as shadow banning. And what's messed up is this is not a prominent conservative thing. This is literally anyone who is not in the leftist echo chamber that might, that's saying things that people on the left might get offended by because it's reels over feels. Hell, myself, I have a permanent ban, okay, a permanent account suspension on Twitter because I actually triggered someone in their support department trying to deal with a supposedly abusive tweet that clearly was not abusive. So, it goes beyond conservatives. I mean, I'm a libertarian. That's part of my ID. I mean, I'm a constitutionalist. I believe in, limited government. I guess these days, limited government is conservative because it used to be people who were liberal, as in classical liberal, as in libertarian, believed in small government. Oh. So, yeah, whatever. Twitter shadow banning prominent Republicans, not good. We will look into this discriminatory and illegal practice at once. Many complaints, Trump wrote on Twitter. There were more than complaints from conservatives about this because you have a lot of people out there that are getting shadow banned that aren't remotely conservative, but they might say things that are offensive to people on the left. Vice News reported Wednesday that Twitter's search feature did not auto-populate prominent conservatives, including Republican National Committee Chairwoman Ronna Romney McDaniel, Donald Trump Jr. spokesman Andrew Serbian, and multiple GOP members of Congress. Well, of course, this is all about trying to control the flow of information, and through that, they're hoping political will, because they lost in 2016. The left lost big time. And they're going to do anything and everything they can leading up to the midterms to try to rig things in their favor. That's common sense. They just got caught. That's the whole thing. They got caught. Prominent liberals and Democratic members of Congress did not have their accounts similarly hidden from the search function, Vice reported. And of course they're not going to have that happen because they're pushing the ideology. They're pushing the cultural Marxist beliefs and ideology that go along the lines of the people that are at Twitter. And I have to say, I'm really surprised that Vice News made this public, because you would think with their against conservatives, against anyone right of Karl Marx over there, they would keep their mouths shut on that. Oh, I'm taken back by it. If you couldn't tell, by the way, I'm acting at this. It's maybe they're just realizing that pushing the cultural Marxist leftist shit is costing them. I don't know. Twitter said it was aware of the problem and was in the process of fixing it, telling Vice that the platform's technology is based on account behavior, not the content of tweets. Yeah, sure. Sure it is. As someone who was shadow banned before they got the permanent kick, it's based on the content of the tweets. All right, your technology, unlike how you want people seen, is based on the content, not the outward appearance. Oh, God. This is so pathetic. Oh, yeah. It was a mistake. Yeah, kind of like Google last week, with their whole... It was Reddit. That was the spin on what happened. People on Reddit caused Google, a couple thousand people, mind you, to, when you put in idiot for image search, bring up Donald Trump. This is when the only way something like that can happen is with direct intervention on the algorithmic level. Only way. See, they think people are too stupid to realize how technology works. They think they're too stupid to realize that algorithms are based on people. Their input into them, their development of them, their logic. Because literally when you write code, you could give, we'll say, we'll make this on like the idea of a computer programming class. Okay? You can, because it's the best example. You can give, say, a class of 20 people an assignment to do, having code accomplish a certain thing. Each person's thought process is different. And what you're going to end up seeing is different. And you might have some people that would come up with the same solution. But you're going to see a variety of different ones. You're going to see how their mind works, because you could have one person who just looks at it as, I'm going to get it done, and not care about how lean the code is, and it could just be a bloated hunk of shit, but they got it done. Then you can have someone who is, say, from the old school, back in the day when you had limited memory crowd, or they subscribe to that belief of writing your code as lean as possible because you're trying to have as small of a memory footprint as possible, which also does help with the speed of it, because the more lean you write something, the faster it's going to run. You could have people like that, so their code's going to be different. Then you're going to have people that are just going to look at it, and because, say, how their mind works, they can just picture it in their head, and boom, it's done. I mean, they might be not necessarily the most simplest of solutions, like the previous example, but it's the most direct, we'll say, because their mind just works that way, or it's, just different. But the point is you're going to have different code from different people. So that goes to show that you have a situation where people influence it. They shape it. It takes someone to shape that algorithm to do something like that. It's not 1,000 or a couple thousand people on Reddit. It's some desocialized geek who's triggered, a cultural Marxist leftist who's triggered and said, ooh, I know what I'll do. It'll be a great fucking joke against the president. When someone types idiot into Google image search, they'll get pictures of him. That's my revenge against him. This whole thing is the same type of situation. This was deliberate. It was done on the fact of human influence. This was not an algorithmic thing. This, on the note of an algorithm going haywire or anything like that, this was direct intervention on the human level. No different. But yet they try to tell people, oh, we're innocent. This was just a little mistake. Yeah. Kiss my ass it is. Conservatives have long complained about unfair treatment on social media platforms, which they see as bastions of Silicon Valley liberal views. Multiple prominent conservatives' accounts, especially those from incendiary figures, have been subject to discipline on Twitter and elsewhere for posts that violates the site's community guidelines, triggering complaints of censorship and double standards. I love how they write this. Oh, well, the conservatives bring it upon themselves because these are people who are incendiary, and what they do is they write things that violate the site's community guidelines, which is such complete and total bullshit. Because when you have community guidelines that are written so vague that they leave interpretation, a word I'm using loosely because they can claim anything violates their rules, but when they leave things up to the point of interpretation of the rules like they do so that they can selectively go after people, you can't try to portray them as incendiary figures. They're not incendiary figures. Why? Because they don't go along. Oh, wait a minute. I know why they're incendiary. Because they don't go along with the liberal views. No, the leftist views. The Silicon Valley cultural Marxist leftist views. Let's be honest about this. Because they don't go along with that, they're considered incendiary figures. So their tweets must just automatically violate them. The community guidelines, and they get bumped. And what gets me is with this last part about where they say complaints of censorship and double standards. They leave out the fact that you can go out on Twitter and you can see kill all white people. You can see all like people making threats to the president. Okay, you can see all these types of things coming from people on the left. Okay, you can see threats made against conservatives. You can see calls to action. All these different things going on Twitter in regards to the left, and nothing is done in regards to it going on. To me, that sounds like double standards. Yet you're trying to make it sound like, oh, they're just talking out their ass. It's all in their heads. It's in their imaginations. But that's not the case. And you know this, Politico. This is a spin. Because the only thing you have at this point is to spin this. And try to portray it like the conservatives brought it upon themselves because they're incendiary. More recently, amid social media companies' efforts to combat harassment, abuse, and fake news on their platforms, those companies have come under fire for not coming down harder on the mostly right-wing accounts that spread conspiracy theories and rhetoric. See, I love this. I love this because now they're literally trying to say here, this is what this paragraph, which I'm surprised they did this at the end, but it is a short article, so they probably expect people to read through. But what they're doing here is they are literally trying to say that conservatives are out there, okay, harassing people, abusing people, and putting fake news out there because that's what they're doing through implication here. Clearly, that's the intent of that statement. And the fact of, then they add in on the end, well, that they spread conspiracy theories and rhetoric. So, pointing out literal things that are factual in regards to Hillary Clinton, which is one of the reasons why she lost the election. It wasn't Russians. It was the fact of social media and the spread of, oh, her bullshit. The reminder of all the deaths that follow the Clintons. I mean, you've got all these different things that are called conspiracy theories. But when you have 3 figures worth of death, we're talking hundreds, or well over 100 deaths linked to you and your husband, a former president. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's like you ever get told you can go meet the Clintons, you go in the opposite fucking direction. Oops, sorry about the screen going black. I gotta mess with my power management or keep moving the mouse. But I mean, yeah, so then you have her health. There was definite health concerns. And the thing is, They try to portray it like, oh, well, they were just trying to spread conspiracy theories. She was literally sick. She literally, while kibbying out, I mean, she's convulsing and they're dragging her legs, flopping, and throwing her in a van. Those are legitimate health concerns. And they know this. But yet they're trying to be like, oh, spreading that was a conspiracy theory. That's what they're trying to imply here. And what gets me is, they know that people are going to take something like health and look at that as a factor in their electing their president. That's why FDR having polio, they did everything to hide that fact. Everything they possibly could. To the point of where they literally put a door on the front of the Resolute desk to hide his wheelchair. So that way when they took pictures, no one would know he was sitting in a wheelchair. They propped his ass up. Okay, Hillary's like, oh, I wasn't propped up. Well, it wouldn't be the first time a Democrat had to be propped up at the podium. It wouldn't be the first time that they had to drag a Democrat, out the back fucking door and toss him in a fucking car before people could see. I mean, shit, you just took a page out of FDR's book. That's nothing new. But yet, that's conspiracy theory and rhetoric. So, I guess putting your political beliefs out there has to be rhetoric now. Talking about conservative values has to be rhetoric now. You gotta love how Politico tries to slant anyone who's right of Karl Marx, which you kind of have to be to try to say that, rhetoric, that they're talking about their beliefs and their political ideology and promoting those types of things as rhetoric and trying to make it sound bad. Facebook, in particular, has faced criticism in recent days for its refusal to remove the page of InfoWars, a website that has promulgated baseless theories, including, among others, that the 2012 shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School was a hoax and that prominent Democrats, including Hillary Clinton and her 2016 campaign chairman, John Podesta, operated a child sex slavery ring in the basement of Washington Pizzeria. Oh my fucking God. Oh shit. I'm not a fan of Alex Jones. But they are really talking out their asses here. And seriously. Well, I was about to say slander, but print is liable. Committing libel. Because Alex Jones never said that Sandy Hook itself was a hoax. He said that there was some crisis stuff going on around it, but he never said that the shooting itself was staged. And I really don't listen to his shit. I mean, when it comes to InfoWars, I watch Paul Joseph Watson more so for entertainment. I mean, he does present some facts, but to me, that's my extent of InfoWars. Mr. Prison Planet. And the thing is this whole thing with the 2016, he never said this about John Podesta and Hillary Clinton and Cosmic Pizza. He never said that. But yet, Politico, in order to try to say, oh, well, look at conservatives, they need to have this happen. Because look what we say about Alex Jones. Look what we claim he did. Which is not true. I mean, if he said what they're claiming about Sandy Hook, and I heard him say it, I'd be the first one to condemn him on that. If he said what he did about Cosmic Pizza and Podesta and Hillary Clinton, no, he was talking about what the email leaks, because they don't want you to go and look. And a lot of people who deal with child sex trafficking, child porn case, the kiddie porn, like going after people for that, those types that deal with those things that come to kids have looked at the Podesta emails and went, fuck me. This is kiddie porn code. This is child trafficking code. This is coming from people who deal with that shit day in and day out. But see, they got to try, because I don't want people to go look back at the emails and see, you know, kid diddler code coming from Podesta. I mean, this is ridiculous. This goes to show how dishonest Politico is and how desperate the left is to try to spin the whole situation of Twitter now coming under fire. And here I am. I've been permanently banned from the platform. If you want to find me on social media, you can find me on, I'm on Facebook. It's more of an archive for my content. I don't really post there except for uploading content, and I don't put posts to it elsewhere. But you can find me on alternative platforms because I've been permanently banned. You know, they've logged my IP address, my MAC addresses, all that other stuff. So I've tried logging in, like using other phone, things. But me, every time I sign up, they want a phone number or whatever in the past. So it's like, I'm not giving up my phone number. I'm not going to go get another phone number because I've already had to use that phone number for the now permanently, banned account. So, yeah, I'm not going to change my phone number to get another account there so that I can just be shadow banned. But since then, I mean, even before that, actually. But, you can find me on Gab AI. You can find me on Minds. You can find me on Steemit. When it comes to videos, obviously, where you're seeing this, if it's on YouTube, then you can go look on BitChute and DTube, and if you're on one of those, vice versa. I'm not going to play their game. I mean, I know I'm shadow banned on YouTube. Last week I have a video, it hits 600 views, and then boom, absolutely nothing. Then I look at my Social Blade and my analytics, and things are a bit fishy going on, and all of a sudden I lose a bunch of views on my video that took off, and the oh god, what do you call it, the amount of people, I'm trying to think of the proper term, but the amount of people that were actually viewing my videos right after that, 600, and then boom, dropped off like right then and there on everything. To me, that's you got something slip past us, we're now gonna screw you. And I also saw like 9 or 11 users, subscribers, and then like 4 of them like got unsubbed right after. It was really messed up. So I know I got shady shit, which I'm trying to get a video done on that in regards to YouTube. But yeah, I mean, this stuff is going on, and it's not just conservatives. It's anyone that isn't pushing the cultural Marxist, identity politics, globalist type of views. But anyways, I've covered this well enough. I'm just going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.